Hey guys, here I am, day after. A little bit late in terms of the upload schedule. I stayed up pretty late last night. Some files got messed up, some got corrupted, some got deleted. So here I am. I just wanted to introduce the last clip for you guys that we're going to be posting on the YouTube channel for quite some time. It's a 10 questions. Be sure to stick around until the end. You get all the nostalgia, all the funny moments that we've had over the last 4 years. Me, Jordan, Kyle, and Jaclyn kind of going over, reminiscing about old times before we finally send off and sign off for what could be the final time. So thank you guys for everyone that's listened over the years. We really appreciate it, and let's roll the film. All right, let's move on and let's do 10 questions here. Little bit of a nostalgic one to end, but we're going to start football for the most part. So little bit of an overarching question, because guess what? We got to cover as many topics as possible since this is kind of going to be our last show for a while. Jaclyn, you get to start on question one. Who is your MVP favorite?
Tom Brady. It's got to be Tom Brady. That's all I'll say. It's got to be Tom Brady right now. I haven't seen anyone else who's playing like him.
Kyle.
No. I mean, Kirk Cousins is having an MVP caliber season.
Thank you. Thank you for the credit there.
I didn't even realize it until he is what I think 25-3. Like, yeah. What? When's the last time someone had 25-3 and was not in the MVP conversation?
And he's not even close because his team is just so good.
Has there been a Vikings quarterback that's been that good the last decade?
Ever?
No, maybe Keenum that one year, but he had more picks than that for sure.
I mean, and for my real answer, it's got to be Brady. I mean, it would have been Kyler if he wasn't hurt for so long, but that long gap is, I mean, he's shown that he's not really missing much, but he can't step right back in and had a great week. But Brady's just been so damn good this year.
Jordan.
Speaking it into existence, Jonathan Taylor leading the NFL in rushing attempts, touches, yards, and touchdowns. He got 18 touchdowns this year between rushing and receiving. I know 5 of them came against Buffalo. Haha. But
I hope that's right, but I don't.
I've been big on the bandwagon the last 3 years, as you guys would know if you went back to listen to all our shows about. I want a running back to win the damn MVP award.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm trying.
Quarterbacks winning.
Realistically, I think it'll be Brady, but if I had a vote, I'm giving it to Jonathan Taylor out of bias.
Could have been Derrick Henry last year.
I saw a graphic this morning that was something along the lines of like Kirk Cousins has more touchdowns than a bunch of guys, and then they went through the yards, but Kirk has basically been very underrated. No, my pick is Brady too, because it's a quarterback award. I would be very happy if Jonathan Taylor won it. I think too many guys have missed time with injury to make it at all realistic for anyone else other than Brady at this point, though.
Tyler was really the only person who had a chance.
Or Derrick Henry if he had been healthy. But again, hurt. It's just brutal. You can't do anything about it. Kyle, question number 2. Who should be the Steelers' next quarterback?
No. I honestly don't know. It's interesting. Like I need to think about where they're gonna be picking in the draft.
Mid.
I was thinking
right now they'd be 18th.
They'd be 18
pick right now.
Like I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on which, because I feel like they have to draft a quarterback this year. Like they're not going to use like Dwayne Haskins. I'm not sure who's going to be a free agent, but
Jameis?
I wouldn't be Jameis, man. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make some sort of a trade for like maybe Matt Ryan or something. Get Matt Ryan out of and then the Falcons who stink maybe take the kid out of Liberty. That would be pretty fun. But
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. I can never remember if it's Malik Lewis or Malik Willis, but it's Malik Willis.
I got you.
Maybe they also take I don't know if he's declared for the draft or not, but Sam Howell from UNC. Maybe
he's a senior and he didn't have a ton of weapons this year, so he probably will declare. Jordan.
I think they need to revamp the entire room. Goodbye, Big Ben. Goodbye, Mason Rudolph. Goodbye, Dwayne Haskins.
The all problematic room.
Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, jeez.
Andy Dalton
and
as well
rookie.
as a veteran. and draft a project quarterback, someone like Desmond Ridder, or maybe even trade up and go after Kenny Pickett or someone like that. They need to revamp that room.
Much sense.
I said
Pickett as my answer.
I said this in a group chat that we're in, that the Steelers might have the biggest loser quarterback room of all time.
That's so fair.
They all suck as humans. They all suck as quarterbacks. They need to revamp that room because the culture in that locker room must suck. And Mike Tomlin's a much better coach than I think he gets credit for a lot of the time. And I know he's probably, losing his mind, pulling the remainder of his hair out every night when he goes home and realizes that that's his quarterback room.
I mean, I just feel bad for him. He keeps getting stuck with just like the worst, like scumbags, head cases. Like, he's a good coach. He does not deserve that.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. He's like, Big Ben, can you just retire already?
He should
You've been washed for 4 years.
He should just go.
He's
He
like,
should go
Chase
coach in
Claypool,
college or
stop.
something.
Yeah. It's
We're
like,
down
Chase,
30.
Chase Claypool, stop making a TikTok. We're trying to practice.
It's
Like,
He's like a
Man.
babysitter and a coach full time.
And before he had Bell and Brown too. Let's not forget about
Yeah.
that. My answer was Pickett. I'm sorry, Davis. Pitt quarterback, going to be second in the Heisman voting. And if I had a vote, I think he's probably going to. He's pulled a Burrow where he's kind of projected himself into a first round pick status. The problem was he was at Pitt, so it wasn't like he was going to go and compete for the playoff. But yeah, I'm Pickett. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh's own. He already plays in Heinz Field for his home games. Just transfer him over to the black and yellow.
It's honestly too easy of a pick for them. Like, I feel like it because even if he's bad, people are still going to love the pick.
And
might
they've
have to trade up
probably
to
been
get
able
him,
to do a bunch of scouting on him because he's in their backyard.
Exactly.
true.
Jaclyn,
I said, you guys are gonna laugh
Matt
at me.
Ryan. I heard someone say Matt
No.
Ryan.
Tom
twice.
Brady.
That was me.
I said Mitchell Trubisky.
It's not bad either, though.
Yes. I mean, he's got a better
Because,
arm
like,
than Ben.
Mitchell
Free him.
Trubisky is like not awful, and like he'd be with an actual competent coach.
He
And,
does
like,
look semi-competent in Buffalo, I will say.
Yeah, that's what I'm
In
saying.
limited-
like he just
limited,
needed
limited
a
action.
coach. So that's why I'm like, just trade for Trubisky and then draft someone. And like, you won't need to move up in the draft if you have Trubisky. And even if he sucks, it's okay because you still have a quarterback.
Jordan, question number 3. After Sean McDermott's press conferences the last couple of days, it's clear that he hates Belichick and it really gets to him. What coach do you think Belichick hates the most? It could be current, it could be former.
I said current. It's probably somewhere. It's probably either McDermott himself, because I think they low key despise each other. McDermott more public about it, but I think Bill has zero respect for that
I
little
agree.
man. Or Harbaugh.
I would be very happy if he hated Harbaugh. My 2 answers were one current, one former. I think he hates Arians because of the way Brady's really propped him up and tried to make him seem like the good old boy after he left Belichick. And then Jeff Fisher. There's a reason you run up the score 59-0 on the Tennessee Titans in the middle of a blizzard. And it's because you hate Jeff Fisher. Jaclyn.
I said Sean McDermott. Like it's like your closest thing to a rivalry you've had in a while. So
Kyle.
Don Shula
That's a really good,
That's a
one.
good one.
That's a
definitely
great
hates
answer.
that guy because
Shula
Shula
hates
hated him.
Yeah,
That's
Shula
what he did.
loathes Belichick, for those who don't know.
Definitely does not like him.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, question number 4, and I get to start on this one. Who's the worst rookie head coach? And I'm actually going to go one relative to expectations, because I think despite Trevor Lawrence going to the Jaguars, we all thought they were still going to suck. I'm going to take Arthur Smith and the Falcons. He is really underachieved with the weapons that he has been given. Like, let's face it, Cordero Patterson's had a reawakening, but Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, who then, I understand that he's on medical leave now, but he didn't wow you before he took a personal leave as well. And then, Zacchaeus, you have Russell Gage. Atlanta's known for churning out good offenses. It seems like he wants, and we saw him on a couple Thursday nights ago. It seemed like he was running the ball like he still thought he had Derrick Henry with him. 4th and 1, you're going to run the ball in short instead of quarterback sneaking it. Like you think you have Derrick Henry to go and plow through the line. You don't have him anymore, Arthur. You're not in Nashville.
Derrick Henry's not walking through that door.
Seriously, he's really underwhelmed me as I'm not necessarily, I don't love the Falcons, but I kind of take pity on them, and they've really, really underwhelmed as per usual this year. Jaclyn.
how did you not say Urban Meyer?
Because I knew
has
you
been a
guys would, so I just want to
PR
spotlight someone else.
nightmare. He is in a PR nightmare, and he has won 1 game, 2 games, 1 game. Horrible.
2,
2
I think.
games.
2.
I think 2, yeah.
One of them is against the Bills.
Yeah, no, it's 2 because the Lions only have 1 win. That's why.
Oh, true.
And ironically, their other win was against the Dolphins in London. Kyle.
For me, I had Arthur Smith as well. But I guess I guess I'm gonna stick with Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
Only just because I feel like the Falcons are just they're just so irrelevant. It just
Agreed.
doesn't seem like we love to crap on Urban Meyer because they've just been kind of just crazy over there, and there's been so many news stories. But have you really heard anything about the Falcons this year? They had a great draft. Kyle Pitts is a fantastic talent, but it just seems like they just can't get anything done. And I did want to say though, because I thought you were going to say Dan Campbell for this, and I'm glad that you didn't, because I think that Dan Campbell, I've completely flipped the script on him. I think that he's He's a great players coach. And I also think you look back in the season, the Lions may be the best 1-win team ever. They do not deserve to be a 1-win team. They have shot themselves in the foot so many times in close games. They should have at least 5 wins at this point. They could theoretically be 2-0 against the Vikings.
No, Dan Campbell sucks. I hate him. Jordan.
I had Urban Meyer. I just think your inaugural season can't be labeled with controversy when you're that bad of a team as well. But just for sake of adding another name to the mix, Robert Saleh, like that culture was supposed to be different in New York with him, or I guess New Jersey, but him going to the Jets. And I know that, Zach Wilson looks like a biggie loser at quarterback, and that like a lot of guys were hurt. But they're the culture there, it looks like the same old Jets. Like it's not like
he's also a defensive coach. He has Quentin Williams, he has CJ Mosley,
and their defense is butt cheeks. Like it's just there's no other way to put it other than it. I was actually very excited for the Jets signing Robert Saleh. I thought that was going to be a great hire, and they look like the same old Jets. And that it's probably more than a 1-year thing, but just for the sake of adding another name, it's not like he is, given us a lot of reason to believe that there's better days coming to East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Question number 5. Man, I really wish I had stacked the order so Jordan started this one. Jaclyn, were we wrong about Tua Tagovailoa?
Yeah, but no. He's not going to be good in the league long term. Even though his stats are getting better now, and I forget what the exact stat was, but he's leading it for 6 games in a row or whatever. He's not gonna be he's gonna be out of the league in 5 years, unfortunately. Kyle. That's just how it's gonna be.
I don't think he'll be out of the league in 5 years. I think he'll find a way to stick around. I wouldn't necessarily say that we were wrong. I'd say that we were just definitely a little too hard on him. I think that, we kind of indicted him pretty early into his career, and it takes time for some guys like this to develop. Who knows? Maybe not even this year, but next year could be the year he makes a jump. You never really know.
Jordan, I'm very interested to see this answer.
I said no. I don't think we're wrong on Tua. I think he's gotten hot in a cupcake schedule at this point. That being said, I do think he's better than Jalen Hurts, but I think he'd be the second best. He's the second best QB from that Alabama room when it was Jalen and Mac Jones. I think he might be better than Jalen Hurts, but I don't necessarily think I was wrong about him. I just don't think he's all that good. I think he's meh.
Man,
I think Hurts is
better. Bizarre that I'm going to be the bottom tier starter here. I think that we were wrong about him. I've been pleasantly surprised over the last couple of games. I think him and Waddle have a real connection that hopefully they can continue to develop, because Waddle obviously being a rookie. I think Miami just really started slow out of the gate. They got lucky to beat the Patriots, and then they just it felt like it took a while for them to get going. But this happened last year, if you remember. Do you remember when they started to pick it up, and then Tua and Fitzy were getting interchanged at quarterback, but they were winning games and they were really making a push for that last wild card spot? Maybe Brian Flores just needs to learn how to get them into gear earlier in the season, because they look okay now. They're cleaning up the games that they should. So maybe it's just more of a mindset thing with this entire group of Dolphins, not necessarily Tua himself. That would be my take, I guess. Question number, what are we on? 6? Kyle, you get to start. Give me your favorite non-Patriot in the NFL.
This is an easy question.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even have to answer it. It's Kyler Murray, of course.
Yeah, we're going out. We got to get some last takes out there. I kind of approached it that way.
To say it in the voice of my favorite college football commentator, technically now NFL as well, Kyler Murray, Gus Johnson.
Nice.
Oh man.
Jordan, who is your favorite non-Patriot in the league?
Chris Godwin or Deebo Samuel, especially when I look at the Patriots and what I think that their offense could use. It's that.
You're gonna notice a common thread on mine. I went linebacker. I love Fred Warner on the Niners. I've said that multiple times. And then I think Eric Kendricks is the most underrated player in football, middle linebacker for the Vikings. Honorable mention for me, got to be Derrick Henry. That dude's electric to watch. Jaclyn.
Mine's pretty easy to guess as well. Mine is Justin Herbert. Yes, of course.
It's not Baker Mayfield.
No. I love him as a person. Would never want him on the Patriots.
That's awful big of you to say.
You can be a fan.
I would no. I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield. I love him, but I don't want him as the
like his
quarterback on the
acting.
main team that I root for. I love his acting.
He really
Especially when he
has
tries to play quarterback.
Jordan couldn't resist. He had to get one last one in there.
I'm like Bill Belichick looking at that weather. I'm like, yes.
He's setting Jaclyn up. He's got this. All right, Jordan. Question number 7. Sunday evening, I guess. So the Steelers and the Ravens were the 4:00 game. Ravens lost by 1 point after going for 2 down late with about 12 seconds left, I believe. And Lamar Jackson's pass fell incomplete. So if you were John Harbaugh in that situation, are you kicking it or are you still going for it?
I'm still going for it. That throw was just garbage. I mean, his rationale was, I thought, pretty sound. I mean, Marlon Humphrey got hurt, and you're going to have to roll into overtime with a completely different dude playing cornerback for you, and everyone goes up a peg. And I don't think their offense was good enough to march down the field again. Go for 2, take the win, be aggressive. I like it. It's just a bad throw.
I will be taking a page out of Pat McAfee's book here. We're kicking it. We have to kick it. There is no excuse to not kick this football, and here's why. If you really don't trust your defense, I understand that they were out of cornerbacks. I get it. But it's Ben Roethlisberger on the other side. You have to get a stop against Ben Roethlisberger in overtime. You can do that. You're the Ravens. That's a stupid idea. Just send out the most automatic kicker in history to nail the extra point. Go and either you give Lamar the ball or you stop the sack of potatoes wearing number 7 in black, and then just go down and score go down and score with Tucker again. Like it didn't seem that hard to me. Thought it was a dumb decision at the moment, and they rightfully had to pay for it. Jaclyn.
I say you still go for it. As someone who watched the Iron Bowl this year and really wish that Auburn would have gone for it instead. Gone for 2 in the overtime. Yeah, that was in the overtime.
Yeah, first overtime.
In the first overtime. I was like, was that the end of the game? Or was that at the first overtime? It was at one point. Why didn't they go for 2 then? This is me just ranting about Auburn. But like, seriously,
Already
I think
franchise.
that if you have the chance to win it, then you win it against a rival. It's different when it's a rival. You want to try and win it. In this case, they failed, but I like the call.
Kyle, you gonna even it up here?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
I do agree with Harbaugh's logic, and I do agree with Jordan saying that it was just a bad throw. Like if that throw is on the mark, then they win that game. But for me, it's one of those. I agree with you. It's Ben. You can stop Ben Roethlisberger. You can figure that out. And then if you stop him, if you don't even get the ball, then all you have to do is just get into Justin Tucker's 50 to 60 yard field goal range, and just have him boot one down, and you win the game. No, I mean, I would have kicked that, but I do understand, especially what Jaclyn said, that in games like that, you kind of just want to go for it. You want to go all the way to the wall and just, just go all out to get that win.
All right, super speed round, so that way we can get to the last question very quickly. So just give a name. Pick one defensive player to add to the Patriots. I'm going with T.J. Watt. Jaclyn.
Micah Parsons.
Ooh, interesting. Kyle.
Mine was Micah Parsons.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Jordan.
Devin White.
Okay, linebacker.
Darius Leonard.
Number 9, 5 words or less. How far can the Patriots go, Jaclyn?
Realistically, AFC Championship game.
All right, Kyle.
I agree. I don't think they win that game, but I think they could get there.
All right, too many words. Jordan.
AFC title game.
Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
They could. They
boats.
could do it.
One more.
Duck boats, baby.
And if they get there, I want to
throw
face
some
the
homer
Packers.
picks out right at the end.
If they get there, I want to face the Packers and not the Bucks. I'll say it. I
No,
would
I
welcome
want
either
face the
one. I
Bucks.
want to face the
I
Packers.
want the Bucks.
Are you kidding me? The Patriots getting to vanquish Rodgers? Oh,
I want the Lions.
That'd be
Alcohol on
cathartic
Patriots
for
getting
me.
to vanquish the Bucks with Tom Brady, your former quarterback.
I want the
I'm gonna
Lions.
have alcohol on hand. I want the Lions.
Jaclyn, you know how
They're
much I hate both of these teams. I would still want the Packers. All right, here we go. Question number 10. This is what we all really came for. We did kind of touch on it earlier. This is going to be our last show for a while. Things have kind of cropped up. We are going to hope to kind of restart it at some point. There may be a new host. Maybe Jordan's going to be running the show next time we see you guys. But for now, we got to take a little bit of a break. So with that being said, we've all been here for a while. We started this freshman year for all of us. Kyle's been doing this for 5 years now. We've been doing it for about 4. What is your favorite show memory? And Kyle, being the elder statesman here, you actually get to lead.
Of course. This technically, I guess this counts as an offshoot of the original primetime radio show. So mine's going to be one that it's actually not like a specific Massholes with Mike's one, but when Baker Mayfield made his debut on I believe it was Thursday Night Football, we were in the studio. We have that clip somewhere. It's mostly just me just going crazy. I was like live commentating what was happening at the time. Like that was such a great moment in the studio because it was at like the end of the end of the episode ish that we were recording at the time, and to be there for that moment and having everyone there, it was fun. I will say, and then I have a second one that's kind of like a sneaky one, and I don't even know if I'm remembering it correctly, but we were recording as we do on Thursday nights. It was during I believe it was the Giants-Eagles game when Daniel Jones took that massive spill. And we were just in the middle of recording and like someone looked at it on their phone and just started like muted their mic and was just dying laughing. And then like they sent it into the chat and we were all just like we were trying not to say anything about it. And then I was like, God, I'm pretty sure it was me. I was like, guys, we need to talk about what just happened. Daniel Jones
eating it.
just took a spill of the century.
That was awesome. I forgot about that one. Thank you for bringing that one up. Jordan, go ahead.
So I have two as well, but I'm gonna say only one of them until Jeremy goes. I want to give him the chance to say it.
Thank you.
But our mustache bracket freshman year but specifically the Joseph Stalin discourse that we got into.
You can't read this because it's not gonna show up on the camera. I literally wrote down Stalin mustache on my thing. That was the exact because that one was funny. And I can send Jaclyn, I don't know if I've sent you this clip again, but I've re-downloaded like the primetime moments a couple of times and I've sent them back to the other guys here, and Pat as well. I think Sean may have heard it. I don't know, but I mean those old moments, man, they were so funny.
You just hear me like you guys were like somebody mentioned Stalin. I think it was Sean, and we like somebody starts talking after that, and you just hear me go in the back to Stalin.
Did you just say Joseph Stalin? And Jaclyn was present for that one. I think it was me, Jaclyn, Sean, and Jordan, and maybe Pat, but I was definitely us four because I could hear all four of us on that clip. In terms of my favorite moments, geez, there are so many to pick from. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna let Jaclyn take the one. If she remembers it, she should be able to describe this moment well. So I'm gonna leave it to her because I know Jordan's thinking of it too.
I remember it.
I'm gonna go with Kyle when our former boss decided to talk about beauty pageants, and Kyle decided to equate it to sports and go, oh yes, what is her world peace above replacement? Oh my goodness, it was the funniest thing of all time.
I just remember
dying.
The way that he said it. I don't know why we were talking about them, but he was like,
no, because he goes like,
he's like, I love watching
beauty pageants things. I love them, and we're like, no, not at all.
Well, what the setup I was like, how does one like, how does one win like that? And Sam said, he was like, oh, she said she wanted world peace better than everyone else. And I was like, oh, like what's her war or something like that. And then no one said anything. And it was like kind of silent. I just went, her world peace above replacements.
And then finally, the other one that I want to talk about quickly is a moment with only me and Kyle out of the four of us here, but we also had Pat and Davis. Kyle, do you remember the moments of the decade bracket that we did in the studio at the very end of 2019?
That whole month. That whole month in March was fantastic.
No. This was in December. This was Davis's last show.
Oh,
we ended it on the bracket episode because he went to LA the next semester. So we got that. The brackets itself were very fun, but this one was specifically a moments of the decade, and we got to go back and relive some of the great sports moments of the 2010s. I loved that.
I think I got to have that list.
I hope you do, because I've been trying to find it lately and I can't find it, and I'm very disappointed because I loved building that bracket.
Was it a bracket or was it a list?
No, it was a bracket, because the one that won was the Malcolm Butler interception, and it beat Chris Jenkins' shot over UNC, because Pat and Davis were college football, and me and Kyle took the Malcolm Butler pick, and we flipped the coin to see who would win because none of us would budge. It was pretty funny.
Naturally.
All right, Jaclyn, what do you got?
So I think the one that Jeremy was referring to was when me and Sean got in a fight on the show because we were talking about. Oh
no, keep going with this one though. I don't remember this one.
This one was when So we were talking about our hot takes for food. I love how like none of these have to do with sports.
Yes,
And
this is a great one.
And so I forgot about that until just now. But me and Sean Facey literally got into like a screaming match because my hot take for food is that peanut butter toast with cheese is delicious.
Yeah,
She wants melted cheese.
We confirmed
But
that
you
you are
melt
a
the
serial
cheese in the
killer.
microwave, but you put it in after it's toasted, but you
I
only have to
forgot
put it in
about
for a
that
little
one.
bit. It's
Oh
not
my
like you're
God,
putting a
that's
whole
so
piece
funny.
of bread in a microwave and just defrosting it in the microwave.
This is a can of
No.
worms.
I'm so
I didn't
glad I
think we
put
were
this
gonna go
question in.
at. We were gonna I didn't think this was a can of worms we were gonna open up. I thought we were gonna go the other direction that I will
No, I
pass
feel.
on.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh!
We're not
Yes.
gonna. We don't have to bring that up if Jaclyn doesn't
We
want us
don't-
to. It's
we
up
don't
to
have
her.
It's
to.
okay.
That's
you
why I
can
said
bring
the
it up.
other
It's
direction.
The last show.
I was gonna
also
bring that
maybe
up, but I
not.
guess I won't.
Like,
No. We
my
can talk.
other
We'll talk
one-
about it. We'll talk
we'll
about it
talk
off
about it
off
off.
camera. Yeah, that's
But
fine. That works.
no, the one I was just gonna bring up, I just remember the first time that I went into the studio, and I fully did not expect there to be like 7 people in the studio. It was like
We packed that thing.
the 3 or the 4 of us, and then like Jeff and Sean and Pat. And I was just like so confused. I also thought the show was only 1 hour and it was 2 hours. And I was like, so I like 9 rolled around and I looked at Jordan. I was like, how long is this show? He's like, it's 2 hours. I was like, what? So, but
We
no,
really didn't
And
that
she
take a
was-
still
lot of
kept
breaks.
coming back by some
I did.
miracle. I don't know how the hell we got her
don't
back.
know how or why I started to come back because our former boss kind of scared me a little. So
As
that's
he should. He
why-
scared me. And
That's
I probably
what it
could have
is.
sat on him and squeezed the life out of him.
So that's why I don't know, but
Yeah, Jordan.
luckily I did.
More. No, I have 2 more because I'm surprised Jeremy didn't take this one, but I'm gonna
Quickly.
on Jaclyn's point about our former boss when Jeremy made that edit of Sam in the doorway behind me.
Yeah, it's behind Kyle, and it's just him
Oh, Kyle.
standing there. Oh, actually, no, maybe
Menacingly,
you. Actually,
even.
I gotta go find that.
I
I'm
think I
gonna
was
send
in
that
the
in chat.
newsroom for it. But also the other one the one I'm surprised Jeremy didn't take was when he muted Jacob Albrecht's mic. I know I'm name dropping people,
No,
but
that's fine.
hey, but
for it.
I
enjoyed that moment immensely.
I had to leave the studio. I was crying in my hands. I was bawling my eyes out, laughing so hard. And I don't even know if he ever realized that he had been muted. But I passed away that night. It was hilarious.
If for context on that one, Kyle remembers the board. Jordan definitely does. I don't know if Jaclyn does because she never actually produced one of the shows, but they were the sliders that control the different different mics. But it was the one on the right.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like I was leaning like this on my left elbow and listening to him talk, and I was getting very sick of it. So I just nonchalantly take my finger and flick it and just wing the slider all the way down. And he's talking. It's just nothing. And then it's just me and Jordan. You can kind of hear us muffled, just cackling, laughing. It is the funniest thing. And I turn it up very slowly. I go, okay, you can talk now. And he was like, oh, geez. Yeah, Jaclyn?
I have one, and I don't remember which one of you said this, but I think that Jeremy said this.
Oh, joy.
So I'm going to say it in the exact way that he said it.
Oh, no.
This headline is brought to you by Teresa's, 4 restaurant locations for different occasions. I'm Jordan Leandre, and these are your headlines on the half hour. But he fully said that he was Jordan.
Did I do that?
You
That wouldn't
remember.
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Me and Kyle have messed up more headline
Well, I
readings
was
than
gonna
we
say,
count. We're
I don't know
not
if
saying the one that he said.
oh, come on, it's not that bad.
No. We'll talk about it after.
Oh,
I don't
come
want to go
on.
through and edit the thing after.
You don't have to edit that out. It's
There
not
was another one.
explicit.
If you guys remember us finding Pud Galvin, first time we found him, that was a good
Yes.
one. Where Kyle,
Jaclyn's
where
cousins.
Sean just
My
goes,
cousin.
I just found that he pitched 7,000 innings in 1 year, and we were all just like, "Excuse me, that makes no sense at all." It's like, "Oh, my
He's-
bad. It says 700." No, it actually does say 7,000. Whatever the
He's
number
also
was.
the original what's
PED
it called?
user.
Yeah, the PED user. That was-
My
He had
descendant.
in
he
the
had a
Hall of
magical
Fame.
goat elixir, which just happened to be like HGH or something like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Goat elixir.
I'm trying to think. There was one more that I wanted to bring up, but Jordan derailed me when he talked about me muting Albrecht because that was still so funny to me.
Him pronouncing Red Sox players' names was also pretty hysterical. Like Zumi, Lin, and
do you remember when we made
Devers.
Sam eat a Griddler's cheeseburger? Then me and Pat got to eat the fries in the producer's room after because everyone else was in the studio.
Yeah. That was a crime, honestly. Like we could have killed him.
And then we were
He'd
going
been eating
over
so healthy for so long.
The last one I want to bring up is that Pat was talking to Jaclyn at one point, and I actually have the clip of this. It's Jaclyn's going like, "Yeah, I've been trying to cut down on whatever, something like that," and Pat says something to the effect of, "You're on the Sam Gordon diet, Jaclyn. Jesus loves you. You don't have to do that." It was so funny. I could try and find that one later.
And then Jeremy just like photosynthesis.
Yeah, seriously. Any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
I mean, I'll say I just wish that we had taken more time to learn a lot of the technical stuff, because I feel like we could have had like such a high quality, well produced broadcast. But at the same time, like it was damn fun. I mean, I still say to this day that, you know, I mean, obviously work on the radio now, but the college radio is just the goddamn best. Like, if I don't know if you're listening, if you're a high school student and you're going to college, or if you're in college right now, you had the chance to do it. You won't regret it. It's so fun. I did it. You can talk about
whatever you want.
I did it in 3 different capacities, and every time I did it, it was fantastic. Whether I was playing music, I was talking news, talking sports. It's just one of the best damn experiences you can have.
We've been doing this for 4 years now. Like we started in 5 years for Kyle, but the 4 of us have been working together on these for 4 years, and
that's crazy.
We started in the basement of the Anson building at Emerson, which I know I got ragged on for trying to make that a thing on an intro, which is another moment that I want.
What do you mean you got
the opening moment? No, it's the opening. It's the opening moment in that audio clip. I'm sending that again
live from the basement of the Anson building.
we were making fun of you because it sounded like you were saying like under the big top here at Barnum Bailey. I
was gonna say, wait a second, like wasn't that a thing that I did? Wasn't that how I always did intro? That was how I would always intro.
There were a lot of shows freshman year where your throat was just so messed up and you were just kind of like croaking out stuff at the end when you had to cover for Sam, because he missed a lot of shows midway through the end of that year because you were dealing with a cough of some sort. But that was funny.
No, that was junior year, I'm pretty sure, because that's when I had my smoker's cough.
Sam's senior year is what I meant. Did I say last year? I don't remember. But anyway,
I don't remember. But
all right.
But lastly, really quickly, sorry, just to finish my thought. We've been doing this for 4 years. We started this in the building of the basement of the Anson building. There was a whole ass global pandemic. I transferred across the country. I am in Arizona now, and we still found.
I became an adult.
Graduated.
I became an adult.
Graduated. You two are graduating. I became the baby of the group. It used to be Jeremy, but now even though he's still younger than me, obviously that couldn't change. But he's graduating.
You never know.
Little do you know.
That is true. Yeah. It's true. I never know. But
science is a magical thing.
We went through leaps and bounds to somehow still find 1 to 2 days a week that we could record. So to the point Kyle said about getting involved in radio in college, if you're even semi interested in it, do it, because you meet a bunch of people, you experience things, you can find new passions. I was dead set on writing when I got into college, and now I'm like, please put me on the radio. I'm much better at that. And it's just,
isn't it nice to hear yourself talk?
It is.
I still don't like the sound of my own voice after 4 years. I haven't gotten over that.
Good at it too. So it's like, if you're even semi interested in doing this, I strongly recommend it, especially if you're an introvert like I am.
Jaclyn?
And to all the girls out there, you can do it too. I didn't think I was gonna last in part of this very male dominated newsroom that we had, but somehow I prevailed, and it was mostly because I had amazing castmates. But no, it's true though.
You're gonna make me cry.
Girls are really.
And I'll
scared.
say we have a pretty good alumni of women that have worked at Primetime Sports Talk. I mean, Jill Guerin was working there when I first got there. I don't know if you guys ever really met her. Jaclyn, you might know her.
I met her once, but it wasn't in a radio.
She then became the 3rd ever female broadcaster in minor league history. I think she's doing the fall league now. I mean, she's doing fantastic. Hannah Brewitt, the Brew Crew, our other co-host from back in the day. She's now at CNN doing sports. So we're launching people off. It's great.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and extending other people who have appeared on the shows in the past years: Davis, Sean, Pat, I guess Sam, Nate, and Jack, but they had their own
Yeah.
shows. This was mainly for our shows. We had those people. We had Jeff, obviously, Alex for making the intros, even though I still have yet to meet him, and he's made me 2 intros now.
Thank you, Alex.
He's a good guy. I only met him
actually,
a couple
you know
times,
what I put as my other final moment is Jaclyn singing the outro every time that we used to have.
That's right.
I'll
was
do
the
it
last
this
one
time.
tonight,
I'll do
yeah.
it this time.
Yeah, no, actually, we have to.
That's fine. All right, so
You can include the normal one too, but we got to have a singing outro.
yeah, duh. All right, so for Jordan, Kyle, and Jaclyn, signing off for a while. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
It's the last episode for a while, and we're kind of sad about it. So I'm just gonna keep singing a little bit to make everyone laugh for a little longer. But I think I gotta go now. Bye.
This is Obama. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
See ya.